How's it going, gang? It's the Final Render here, and welcome to another exciting Fallout 76 video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about my favourite events to go and grind XP inside Fallout 76 to give you the most amount of levels in a small amount of time. As the holiday season is coming up, we're getting more and more double XP events, so it's perfect timing to do a video like this to tell you guys how to get the most XP in a short amount of time. But if you are going to be grinding these events for XP, make sure you do it properly. Make sure you're in a casual team to get an extra 4 intelligence by maxing that out. Make sure you go and get a huge amount of XP by eating cranberry relish. Make sure you get well rested with an ally in your camp to unlock kindred spirit to get extra XP. Make sure you open at least 4 lunch boxes, preferably near other people, to get an extra 100% XP. Make sure you go and read Live and Love issue 8 to get 5% extra XP in a team. Make sure you use Leadership Bobblehead to get an extra 5% XP. Point is, there's loads of things you can do to buff yourself to get a huge amount of extra XP. But let's get into the list now. So to kick off this list, let's take a look at an event which I think is possibly the most criminally underrated event inside Fallout 76, but is actually probably the best way to get XP quickly in huge quantities. And that event is guided meditation. And this event has been in the game since launch. However, it's been very unpopular because you didn't really get much reward or XP from it. But ever since the One Wasteland update came out, we are getting much higher level enemies, and it's turned this event into an XP powerhouse. The reason why this event is so good is because we have infinite swarms of charred ferals. Now, charred ferals give you quite a lot of XP. Not only that, but they also group together and swarm at you from a far distance away. So, you can actually sit on a roof with an explosive long-range weapon and you can take down huge groups of 4 or 5 charred ferals in small volleys of fire. I mean, you even don't use much ammunition in this event and get huge amounts of XP. And ever since the One Wasteland update came out, it means we are getting enemies which are somewhere from level 50 to level 100. Right now you can currently see we're fighting swarms of level 75 charred ferals, and they keep coming. Unlike many events inside Fallout 76, the quicker you kill enemies in this event, the quicker they respawn. So if you're a high level, you can actually sit here for the approximate 10 minutes it takes to complete the event and get thousands upon thousands of experience points just by sitting in one spot and protecting these modules that you need to protect. It's a very easy event, but it's easily one of the most underrated and what I personally think is the best way to get XP currently inside Fallout 76. Give it a go, you won't regret it. Next up on the list is the event Monster Mash. Now, the Monster Mash has been in the game since the start, similar to Guided Meditation, and it's kind of fallen in and out of popularity, Monster Mash, but the cool thing about this event is that you have an infinite swarm of charred ferals, very similar to Guided Meditation. You'll see a pattern emerging throughout this video, but also, this event is infinitely repeatable. So, when you play this match, you don't actually get much XP per round, which will normally last about 6 or 7 minutes, but it is infinitely repeatable. As soon as it's finished, you can start again, and you get infinite amounts of charred ferals in that time. Not as many ferals as you would get per round in Guided Meditation, but since it is repeatable, you can sit here for hours and farm XP to your heart's content. It's a very easy event. It is technically a PvP event, so if another player comes in, they can kill you in this event. However, it is not the same rules of regular PvP. You won't lose any of your junk or anything like that, I believe. But the nice thing about this event is that it is infinitely repeatable. So not as much per round, but is infinitely repeatable. Go ahead and check it out. It's a cool one. Another thing I want to say is if you're watching this video, why aren't you subscribed? According to my analytics, 64% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you've made it to this point in the video. I'm sure if you enjoyed this video, you'll enjoy the other videos on the channel. Go ahead and convert yourself to one of the 35%. Don't be one of the 65% who doesn't subscribe. Be one of the 35 who subscribes. Right, let's carry on with the list. Next up we have quite an obvious one, but is one which is definitely worth mentioning in this list, and that is of course the boss events, which is the Scorched Earth event and also a Colossal Problem. Now these events are very cool to get XP, not just because you have a huge boss which you need to defeat which drops a huge amount of XP when you kill it, but also, similar to the other two events, you have infinite waves of spawning adds, little enemies which you can take down. Now there actually are different ways to look at these events. If you go and look at events such as a Colossal Problem, you have infinite huge quantities of the Wendigo. However, you actually can get swarmed in that event. You actually do have a little bit of a problem to where only 8 people are allowed in that event, so therefore it is a tougher event. However, if you do the Scorched Beast Queen, you get infinite numbers of maybe smaller enemies, like even bloatflies or radroaches sometimes, but you actually do get much more of them, and there's more players, so you actually have an easier time of doing it. But both of these events are really great to do because they offer huge amounts of XP and a huge amount of other rewards, such as repair kits and really cool legendary drops. Even stable flux is on offer. So if you want to get some XP and you see one of these events is going on, go ahead and do it. The only issue with it is that it's kind of a one and done scenario. It takes a long time for the event to restart again. Someone's got to drop a nuke. But if you go ahead and see one on the map, definitely check it out and make sure you hit all the small enemies as you can. And also make sure you do focus and kill the boss as well. Because if you spend all of your time just killing the smaller enemies to get the most XP, no one will like you for that. So make sure you focus on the boss and the small enemies and you'll be raking it in, trust me. Next up, we have a little event called Radiation Rumble, and Radiation Rumble is one of my favourite events in the game. It is pure chaos, and I absolutely love it. What this event entails is you have to go and collect ore inside a very, very radioactive tunnel. However, throughout that, you will have to be protecting scavengers from infinitely spawning waves of enemies. Now, this is an event which is obviously very good for XP farming because you actually get glowing ferals for this and they drop a huge amount of XP and they are infinitely respawning, so you can sit here for the entire event and farm enemies. However, as a responsible Fallout 76 player, I must tell you, if you are not collecting ore, if you are just sitting with 0 ore in your counter killing the ferals that come in, you are doing this event wrong. Let me explain why. When you actually have a small amount of ore collected up, let's say 0, say if you've gone in and just started the event, then you will get infinite swarms of glowing ferals. Sounds pretty good, right? You can sit there in a high spot and take down all the ferals you want. However, if you go and get the ore to roughly around 75 or 80 or so, you will start to spawn in much better enemies for grinding XP. You'll start to get Deathclaws, you'll start to get Snallygasters, you'll start to get Floaters. It's pure chaos, this event. But the thing is, if you just sit there with 0 ore, then you will only ever get glowing ferals, and they don't have anywhere near as much XP as the later ones. So what you need to do, what you have to do as a responsible Fallout 76 player in this event is get some ore. You need to get your ore to approximately 75 to 80 quickly. Then you can spend more time grinding the really tough enemies and getting much more XP. It's not hard to get the ore. I know some of you may be tempted to say, well, someone in the room will do it. No, be that guy who goes and does it. Just get it done. It doesn't take long to do, and it will be a much better event for it. So go ahead and be the good guy, get some ore so everybody can get more XP, and encourage people in the event to do the same as well. Don't let people sponge off of your hard work. And now, unfortunately, for this last one, I actually wasn't able to get any footage. It was a bit unlucky because it only comes in a certain amount of times. But that is the event One Violent Night. One Violent Night is a really cool event that many players know is a really good XP farm. And that is great because, similar to a lot of the other events, you get infinitely spawning waves of charred ferals. And again, with the One Wasteland update, they drop much more XP than they ever used to. So how this event works is that you'll be attacked by infinite swarms of charred ferals, but what you need to do in the event is play music on instruments in order to attract a Wendigo, and then once that Wendigo turns up, you kill it and you win the event, and you have a certain amount of time to do this. However, it is possible to draw out the amount of time in this event by not playing the music for as long as possible. Do it really slowly in tiny little increments, and then when there's not much time left, go and fill that bar by playing the musical instruments and then kill the Wendigo. So what you can do is get huge amounts of charred ferals attacking you, and you can do that for a very long time. It's a really good event to do, and also all of the enemies go into close quarter environments. So it means if you have an explosive weapon or a Tesla rifle, for example, you can get huge amounts of XP by playing this event. It's a really good one, and I'm sure many players on the Fallout 76 Reddit will agree that One Violent Night is a fantastic XP farm. So thank you very much for watching this video on my top 5 events to get XP. Make sure you go and get all of your buffs when you go and do these events, and you will be raking in the levels, I guarantee it. And thank you very much for watching the entire video. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe if you have enjoyed this video. And also, apologies that videos have been quite slow of late. I've been doing an awful lot of work as a camera operator and video editor at a really good company. And because of COVID-19, I have had very little work this year. So I hope that you guys understand why videos have been a bit slower, but work is obviously very important, and I've been spending most of my time doing that. But I promise when I do have spare time, I will be cranking videos out for you guys to enjoy. And also remember, you go ahead and check out some other videos if you enjoyed this one, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye bye, gang. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Special thanks to our level 3 members, Matt Walskowitz, The Music Canon, and PsykerGirl.